Hi guys, welcome to another video. In this one, I wanted to share some of the things that you can do while you wait and while you prepare for your move abroad. So I initially thought about 5 things, but I actually came up with 8. So I'm gonna go through all 8 of these things that you can do while you await to move abroad. So I'm gonna look down from time to time. It's because I have my notes right here. So let's go into the first thing. And these are some things that we are doing as we're preparing for our move abroad and things that you can do as well. Some things can apply and some things will not apply. So you take the ones that you like and you can leave the rest. And obviously, if you have things that you are doing and that I haven't mentioned in my list, make sure you post them in the comments below. That way, those might be helpful to me as well. Okay. So let's go with number 1. First thing you can do as you prepare for your move abroad, your blaxit, however you want to call it, is to find an online community. And this is something that I'm actively working on in the destinations that we are considering. So either going into Facebook groups where I can get information about lodging, or Facebook groups where I can get information about, the kind of stores where I can find certain things that I might miss, like maybe American products, American type of food. And so that's something that I'm actually doing right now, mostly on Facebook, but I'm sure you can find those groups on other platforms as well. So find an online community of like-minded people, maybe other moms, other families. Yes or no, it depends on your preference, and go on and go from there. Okay, so that's the first thing, finding an online community. Second thing, this is something that I did last week, is spring cleaning. It took me a lot of time to get rid to to just take the old clothes that I used to wear when I was in academia, and they're still wearable, they're still like almost new, and to really move on from that because I really don't wear them anymore. And so I did that last week. I really packed everything, put them in the bags, and I got bags and bags and bags of ton of clothes. Not only my clothes too, but my husband is doing that as well. So his own clothes and shoes, and my kids' clothes, like clothes that are too small for them right now. And we're going to donate them to a veterans organization. My husband is a veteran, so that's something that is dear to our hearts. So spring cleaning in the sense of, clothing, shoes, things that you have in the house that are just there occupying space and you don't want to get rid of at the last minute, then now is a good time to actually slowly but surely pack them away and give them away. If you want to sell them, go for it, but otherwise you can just donate them. Third thing you can do is renovations in your house. So this will apply to you if you're thinking of, let's say, renting out your house, which is what we're planning on doing. We're not selling our house. So if we were to sell our house, maybe we'll do a few renovations here and there, and then, that's it. But we are doing some renovations because we want to kind of enjoy those renovations now because we're still here, but also for the family that will eventually rent from us. So renovations is the third thing that you can do as you prepare for your move abroad. Renovate your house or wherever you're living right now. Fourth thing that you actually should do right now and not wait until you move abroad is to increase your revenue and your savings. Okay, both of them. Your savings so that you don't have to touch that unless you have an emergency or something like that. But obviously your revenue, you have to know how you're going to survive there, or how you're going to live, how you're going to pay your rent and all of that. So is that going to be the same revenue that you have now, or is it going to be a new source of revenue? So you have to figure that out right now and be very clear on it. And why not just increase it? Because you might have some emergencies happening, or maybe because you have to adjust with the cost of living where you're going. I mentioned in a previous video that the cost of living where we are considering moving to is pretty comparable to the cost of living here in Houston. Surprisingly, or not, it's about the same. Okay, if you count the fact that we're not paying for school here, but we'll have to pay for school there. We are not paying for, the rent is about the same, like mortgage is about the same as what we'll have to pay for rent. What else is comparable? Like here, we don't have like a nanny or anything like that, but over there we'll pay for that, but it's the minimum price is not as expensive as it is here in the US. So you have to know your your revenue level, your budget, and all of that. You have to do that, and definitely increase your revenue, increase your savings as well, just in case of an emergency or anything like that. By the way, that's always good to do even if you're not moving anywhere. So increasing your revenue and your savings is always a good idea. The fifth thing is to be mentally immerse yourself in that new culture. Obviously, you're not there yet. So how do you do that? You can look at YouTube channels. You can look at TV shows, like maybe it's in different language, different culture, including the language. So watching shows, TV shows or series or movies from there, so you kind of get into what it's like being there, or how the culture is like and the way of life. Watching their news, what is going on right there, right now, so that you don't just show up and you're like out of the, you're like you don't really know what is going on and what these institutions are like, what the regime is like how what's going on in the politics and all of that. So be informed right now using like official media like TV, televisions, like newspapers and things like that that you can access online, but also from the people there. So maybe it will be YouTube channels, maybe it will be on Instagram, and information that is coming out from the place where you're moving to. Okay, so that was number 5. Mentally immerse yourself through media and social media or traditional media of what is going on over there. Number 6, this one is a big one, is to prepare your family. Prepare your family as well. So if you're going with your kids or extended family members, they have to be ready as well. So this is a good time to tell them about the move, so they're not just surprised and just picked up one day and then shipped to someplace else. They're part of the process. So get them excited as well. Maybe you can buy books about the destination. You can go to the library and borrow some books or movies about the destination, or watch shows on YouTube, anything that can interest them based on their age. So my kids are 8, 6, and 4. So there are certain things that I talk to them about the countries that we're considering and what will be exciting there and the kind of language they speak there and things like that. That would really pique their interest and make them involved in that process of moving abroad. Okay, so that is not just you as a parent, but also the kids can get excited about that move. Number 7, the 7th thing that you should consider, you can do to prepare for your move abroad or your blaxit, is getting support. Okay, so this is where you need to have that support and accountability from other people who are trying to do the same thing as you are. So I'm really grateful to have some friends who are considering that, and others that I'm like, surprisingly, they're like, yeah, we're thinking about it too. And I'm like, oh wow, really? We need to talk, right? So having whether it's online or in real life, like having friends who are doing their own preparation to their own destination, whether it's similar to yours, is very important to support each other. And one thing that we did with a friend of mine is that we hosted a vision board party. So we all went to her house, and all of us basically had that vision or that dream or that goal of moving abroad with our families. So that's something that was on, I think, all of our vision boards. And so after that, 6 months later, we kind of checked in on each other and said, okay, what are you doing towards that goal? How is that going? How's the preparation going? Okay, so we are supporting each other and keeping each other accountable through that process with other like-minded people, because there's not a lot of people who do that or are thinking about doing that or considering doing that, and a lot of people are actually against it, and some people might want to discourage you from doing that. So it's very, very, very important to be surrounded with people who are actually understanding what you're trying to do, trying to accomplish, and who actually on board and who actually want to do that. So things that you might miss in your process, maybe you learn from them, and things that they might miss, they will learn it from you. Whether you're going to the same destination or not, we're always learning from each other. Okay, so that was number 7, and last but certainly not least, super important thing to do as you prepare for your blaxit is to visit there. Granted, it might not always be possible, but you can do it in different ways. You can either do it with the whole family and go as a vacation. And again, going there on a holiday, you know, like staying at tourist spots is not the same as living there. So as much as you can, try to immerse yourself as much as you can in the local culture. So staying at an Airbnb, for example, and going to restaurants where tourists don't eat, but where people who live there actually eat, okay? So doing things like that. Or you can even visit by yourself. So it could be you, your spouse, and just go and scout the destination and see how things are like visit the schools, visit the libraries, the museums, how is transportation like? Will it be easy to get a car? Will it be easy to rent a car? Will it be easy to find accommodation? What kind of accommodation? What are the price points? Being on the ground is always better than doing everything remote, because you just never know. You get a different impression of what the reality is really like once you are on the ground. So that's something that my husband did for destination number 1 a few months ago, and that's something that I plan to do on destination number 2 in just by the end of this year. So that way we can compare notes and then decide on, okay, what's the best choice for our family. Okay, so let me know, out of these 8 things that you can do to prepare yourself for your move abroad, for your blaxit, what are the ones that you are currently doing? What are the ones that you're doing but I didn't mention? And I really want to know about those, okay? I want to know. The more help I get, the better. The more help you get, the better as well. We're all in this together, trying to support each other in our respective journeys, okay? So any questions you may have, feel free to post them in the comments and I will get back to you as well. Until next time.